Hey everybody, this is Craig Cottle, Director of Nature Reliance School, coming to you today to give you a nice review on the Bushcrafter HC from LT Wright Knives. So here's what we're going to do with this knife. Number one, I'm going to give you all the specs on it. We're pretty excited about this knife. As a matter of fact, we're thinking about trying to work with LT and make this our school knife. And we may end up doing that because I fell in love with this thing. But what we're going to do is I'm going to give you all the specs on it, obviously, tell you about all the steel that it's made of, the dimensions, and all the stuff that goes along with it. I'm also going to tell you what I've been doing with it over the last couple months, and to give you an idea of how much of a workhorse this little guy is. And there's not too much that I haven't done with it. So we're going to talk about that, and that way you'll get an educated opinion on the Bushcrafter HC from LT Wright. All right, so this is what we got here. We've got 1075 high carbon steel. And I wasn't so sure about that when I got it, but I tell you what, I've been incredibly pleased with it. And again, I'm considering making this the Nature Reliance School knife. It's been a fantastic blade. It's 8.5 inches from tip to pommel. It's 3 5/8 inches on the cutting edge. It's 3/32 on the width, and again, high carbon steel, a little bit thinner, which is going to get you to where we need to be, and I'll explain that in just a minute. But what you also got is a convex grind on the blade itself, which I've utilized it for just about everything I could, and it's worked well so far. It's got the micarta handles that are pretty much standard anymore if you're not making a blade with antler or something of that nature. These have worked exceptionally well. It's got fish eyes to maintain the stability of the handle throughout its lifetime, as well as it's got an aluminum lanyard tube. The patina that's on this knife makes it appear, number one, looks cool. Number two, it could be camouflaged if that's the way you intend it to be utilized. So here's the deal. I actually ended up getting 2 of these knives, and I passed one on to Tracy Trimble, another instructor with Nature Reliance School. And we've been using them for a couple months. In that time frame, in the last 2 months, we have taught several hundred people in survival classes. The biggest bunch of those happened in Johnson City, Tennessee, where we taught at a medical conference, and I literally put this knife in the hands of several hundred people. And it just came back where 99% of them love this thing and want to take it home with them. So that says something. These were untrained people. So somebody that's trained like myself that's utilized this knife a bunch, it's been a great knife, as well as putting it in the hands of somebody that's untrained. That might be you. If you're new to knives, you're like, I don't know about this knife. Well, these people that were brand new found this knife to be fantastic. And about a week after I got this knife, I went turkey hunting with my dad. He bagged a turkey. We utilized this to process the turkey, which processing turkey is not that big of a deal. But we did use this knife to process it. And so from that point forward, I taught a survival class for a private group, a very small group of private individuals that wanted a specific class. And I put it in their hands. And these were people, there was one lady who had never laid down on the ground. There was a lady there who had never built a fire. And I lay out about 20 knives, and I let them pick the knife that they want to utilize for the weekend. And everybody kept coming back to this knife and utilizing it over and over and over again. So I can say from a person that's got a lot of experience with a knife, I love it. It's a fantastic knife. It fits good in my hand. It works good. I've used it to make fire sticks. I've used it to make fire. I've used it to carve blackcap fungus. I've utilized it to make trap setups and baton wood. I don't know what else I not done with it. There's a lot that I've done with this knife. And so I highly recommend it. LT Wright and them have made a knife, and here's the beautiful, beautiful part of it, is that you can get an optional leather sheath with it, or I contacted LT right before we made this video to make sure they'll make a Kydex sheath for you too, and I'm sure there's a cost for that. So they'll make a sheath for you that you want. I made a sheath for myself, or I got the guys from Kentucky Kydex, which just lived down the street from me, to make one for me, just to make sure that this goes well with a Kydex sheath. Works exceptionally well in Kydex as well as leather. So they'll tell you the price on the Kydex sheath. The optional leather sheath, I believe, is 25 bucks. The knife is 75. So for a Benjamin, you got you a fantastic knife that's literally going to last you a lifetime. I just don't think you can beat it. I just absolutely don't think you can beat it. For somebody who's got a lot of experience, this works well. For somebody that's brand new, it's going to work well. So I highly recommend the Bushcrafter HC from LT Wright Knives. As always with Nature Reliance School, come on, join in, let's learn together.